What's happening in the Sacramento real estate market in the summer of 2020? Stay tuned because you'll be surprised. Hi everyone, I'm Rico Castillo. I'm a local real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I do a lot of videos about the local real estate market. I talk about pros and cons, cost of living. I do community tours, talk about the best neighborhoods, the best schools. And so if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, tap that bell so you won't miss any of my future videos. Okay, let's get started. As a seasoned real estate agent, I was worried about what was going to happen to the local real estate market with the COVID-19 happening. I also had a lot of buyers or clients call me what I thought was going to happen. And I also have quite a few buyers who called me, whom I haven't heard from a little while, asking if I thought the market was going to go down drastically, like in 2008. They said if that were to happen, that they were willing to buy all cash. Well, I warned them that I didn't think that was going to happen this time. Well, one thing I felt fairly certain was that we were not going to go through 2008 all over again. Well, I just felt like the lawmakers and the banks, that they were more prepared this time to handle something drastic happening on the market. So why did the market or property values not go down? Where there are a few reasons, but and one that I'll explain later on when I go through the graphs. But I know for sure now that there weren't a lot of people that lost their homes due to the banks working with the homeowners. If you are affected by the COVID-19 financially, know that you do have some options. I feel for you, first of all, but go to knowyouroptions.com. It's a Fannie Mae site. Also FreddieMac.com also have, they both have something going on to where it helps you, the homeowners as well as renters, relief during this time. So again, the banks started working with homeowners who were affected by COVID-19 financially. What they did was they started deferring payments for up to 120 days. They were waiving late fees, suspending foreclosures and evictions, and they also promised that they wouldn't be telling the credit bureaus or reporting to the credit bureaus about their late payments. But of course, what they did, the biggest thing I thought, was to help them with their mortgage forbearance. Forbearance means that the lender or servicer has temporarily helped you by lowering your payments every single month, or no payments at all. But again, this is temporary, and those are not going away, by the way. You still have to pay those back. Most likely they tack it on towards the back of your loan. But no, they're not free. They're just a temporary fix to help you get through during these hard times. But the biggest reason, however, that the market values did not go down, and I'll show you again a little bit later here in the video showing you the graphs, is that the number of buyers and sellers, the ratio did not change. Typically, what happens is when something drastic happens, most of the buyers either lose their job, like COVID-19 for instance, or they just start to pull back and decide not to buy a home because they think that financially it might affect their finances in terms of the stock market going down, or they lose their job or whatever. So when the buyers pull back and the sellers stay on the market, what's going to happen is the sellers will have to lower the price of the home in order for them to sell. Well, this time, as the buyers pull back, the sellers pull back as well, so the ratios stay the same. So the graphs I'm going to show you next represents the numbers in the Sacramento County in June compared to May, and some compared to the previous year as well. And these are just for single family homes, but I don't think there's too much of a difference between what's happening in the market in terms of single family homes and to the condos and the half plexes or co-ops and all that. I think they're pretty much, the market is pretty much the same. So let's take a look at this graph. And this is a graph for the number of homes for sale compared to the number of homes sold, as well as the number of homes that went pending, is the red line here, for June. Okay, and let's look at the market highlight, because it shows clearly that June was a hot seller's market. The number of homes for sale actually went down in June compared to the month of May. Went down 17%, went down 37.4% compared to last year. However, take a look at this. The number of homes sold in June actually went up 39% compared to May, even though it was down 7.7% compared to last year. But look at this here. Also, at the same time, the number of homes that went under contract or pending was up 31.4% in the month of June compared to May, and up 17.6% compared to last year. So yes, it shows that it was a hot seller's market. So what does this mean from the seller's perspective as well as from the buyer's perspective? Well, for the buyer, it's time to loosen up the purse strings a little bit if you want to get into the new school district before August, because July is showing that it's just as hot as June, if not more so. As a matter of fact, in May it showed that for every home that sold, they had 3 offers. I need to find that number for June, but I believe it was probably either the same, if not more, and I think more so in July. So from the buyer's perspective, it's time to really, if you want to get into the bidding war and win the bidding war, talk to your agent. They'll give you ideas in terms of what to do. Of course, if I were your agent, of course I would give you my suggestions. Ultimately, you make the decision. However, it's time to get aggressive. There are many ways to have an aggressive, to make your offer aggressive and strong. So that's what you need to do on the buyer side. On the seller's side, however, it doesn't mean that you can just put your home in the market and it would sell for $1 million or whatever. Okay, your property still needs to be in good condition, and that's what, and I'll show that here later in a later graph, that the homes that are staying on the market a little bit longer than others are homes that do not have as many upgrades as the others. The ones that have upgrades are selling quickly, as well as getting multiple offers and selling at a higher price. Alright, so let's take a look at another graph, and this is the average days that the homes are staying in the market and how much they're selling for in terms of the percentage compared to the original price. So this down here is a number of days in the market, and up here is the percentage of homes selling compared to the original list price. All right, and down here it shows, this is for the whole year, for the entire past year, and it shows the trend as usual, that in the hotter months your home is going to stay in the market shorter and sell at close to list price, right? During the cooler months, it's going to stay in the market longer and sell lower at a lower percentage than the original list price. And it's continuing again for this year. Let's take a look at in April, where homes were staying in the market for just 20 days and selling at 100% of the asking price. All right, it's gone up a little bit in the last couple of months, but they're still selling at 99% of the original list price. So what does this mean from the seller's perspective and the buyer's perspective? Well, let's start from the buyer's perspective. No lowball offers. All right, so what's happening is, since the sellers are getting multiple offers, they're asking the buyers to make their highest and best offer right from the get-go. So that's what you need to do. Reason being is, if you're getting multiple offers, they don't want to go through review each offer more than one time. They'd like to look at it, know that it's the highest and best offer that the buyers is making, and they'll make a decision based on that. However, on the seller's perspective, from the seller's perspective, no overpriced listings. Your home is going to stay on the market longer, and buyers know, because their agent is going to pull comparables and make sure that they're not overpaying for the home. Now, what's going to happen is if they do make an offer, they'll probably take a chance of making an offer at a lower price and see what happens, but they're definitely not going to overpay for your home if it's not worth that much. What I recommend is price your home at market value based on facts, and then the multiple offers on your home is what's going to drive the price up, not overpricing it and thinking that buyers will chase that price. That's not what's happening. So let's take a look at this graph, and the red here is the number of homes that's sold, and the green is the number of homes that's for sale, that's on the market. All right, and let's look at the market highlight here, because it's a very telling story here. If you look here above, these are the homes for sale. So in June, sellers were putting their homes on the market at 5.5% compared to May, and then 10.1% higher compared to 2019. Then in June, the homes were selling at 5.3% higher than May, 6.8% higher compared to 2019. So homes are appreciating in value. Why is this happening when people are losing their jobs, right? And buyers are pulling from the market? So what's happening? Well, typically what happens if there's an imbalance in terms of the ratio of buyers and sellers. If there are more sellers than buyers, then of course the sellers will have to lower the price in order for their home to sell, and that will cause the values to go down. Well, as buyers lost their jobs, and some buyers pull out of the market thinking that the value would go down, as they pulled back, the number of sellers also pulled back. So the ratio never changed. All right, so let's take a look at this graph, and it tells a very good story as to why June was such a hot seller's market. All right, so if you look here, this is the months of inventory, meaning that if all homes were to sell, it would take less than a month to sell. So there's not much on the market. Let's take a look at the market highlight here, and I'll read this for you real quick. So in June, compared to May, the number of homes on the market actually went down 44.2%, 35.8% compared to last year. Now, I don't know if you can read this down here, but I'll read it for you. It says that a buyer's market is when there are more than 6 or more months of inventory on the market. All right, a seller's market is when there are 3 months or less on the market, and neutral is when there are 3 to 6 months worth of inventory in the market. Take a look at this down here. Do you see any numbers here close to 3? 1.4, 1.6, that's the highest, 1.6, 1 month, 1.2 months, and now it's less than a month. So what's happening here is that there's not a lot of inventory on the market, and still at the same time there are a record number of buyers applying for mortgages. So what does that say? Well, it's going to be a seller's market for quite some time. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this does not mean from the seller's perspective that you can just throw your home on the market and have it sell for $1 million or whatever. You still have to price it right. You still have to get it prepared, staging, doing the repairs and all that. From the buyer's perspective, yes, again, I'll say it again, make a strong offer, no lowball offers, and make your highest and best offer right from the get-go. Well, I hope you like this video, and I hope it helped you understand, at least in the summer of 2020, what's happening in the Sacramento real estate market. I'm going to be doing a market update every single month, so make sure you subscribe, and so you won't miss any of my future videos. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, tap that bell, because the more subscribers we get, you'll also be supporting this channel, and the more videos we'll be able to do for you. Okay, so until next time, see you around town.